Day 1 finds you on your flight departing from Minneapolis, heading for New York. The evening of Day 1, you have an included dinner at the DNR Depot. It's located in a historic train depot. With both great food and atmosphere, it's an excellent beginning to your trip. Day 2 begins with beautiful scenery as we have a self-guided tour of Sunningburg Gardens and Mansions, formerly the Victorian summer home of Frederick Ferris and his family, and it's now a beautiful location for all to enjoy. You arrive at Belhurst Castle, located on the shores of Seneca Lake. Your included lunch also features a wine tasting experience. Your afternoon includes a guided tour of the Women's Rights National Historic Park. This walking tour includes the historic home of Elizabeth Cady Stanton, a leading figure in the early women's rights movement. The tour also features Seneca Falls Wesleyan Chapel, the site of the 1848 First Women's Right Convention.
Of the Thousand Islands is Bolt Castle. The castle is located on Hart Island, opposite downtown Alexandria Bay. George Bolt bought the island in 1895 from Congressman E. Kirk Hart, who had already built a sizable cottage on the island. George was a true romantic, and it was his love for his wife Louise that prompted his construction of the complex of 11 buildings that would include Bolt Castle. From Ulster Tower, the Bolt family playhouse, to the five-spired powerhouse, to the boat entry styled after Paris's Arc de Triomphe, Bolt Castle was an ambitious undertaking meant to resemble the Rhineland castles of Europe. The original cottage on Hart Island was dismantled in 1899 and moved across the frozen St. Lawrence River to become part of the Thousand Islands Club. In 1900, construction was started on Bolt Castle. Boat access to Hart Island began at Bolt's Wellesley Island Yacht House, which housed a fleet of almost 20 yachts and powerboats. By 1904, the still windowless 150 rooms of the castle were receiving finishing marble. But in January, the unthinkable happened. Louise Bolt died, and all work on the castle stopped. While George and his family continued to summer and hold vast properties on nearby Wellesley Island, they never again set foot on Hart Island. In the early 1920s, it was sold to Edward John Noble, president of Lifesavers Candy and later chairman of the board at ABC and Paramount Pictures. Noble opened the castle for tours, but over the years it fell into extreme disrepair. Today, it is owned by the Thousand Islands Bridge Authority, which has undertaken a major program to stabilize and restore the castle. Island boat tours continue to stop there daily.
Your journey this afternoon to Lake Placid takes you through Adirondack Park, boasting over 3,000 lakes and ponds, 30,000 miles of rivers and streams, mountain vistas, and more. It will provide stunning scenery throughout the drive. Day 4 starts with a guided tour of Lake Placid Olympic and Paralympic training centers and home to both the 1932 and 1980 Olympic Games. This facility is where the U.S. hockey team won its legendary game against the Soviet Union. Your morning concludes at the John Brown Farm and Historical Site, home and final resting place of abolitionist John Brown. At High Falls Gorge, you'll get to see mountainous area considered to be over 1.3 billion years old. There'll be free time to explore and dine at your leisure. Dinner tonight will be at the hotel with entertainment provided by Laura Roth, Broadway and off-Broadway singer and comedian. The morning of Day 5 begins with a guided tour that celebrates the Victorian era and the classic Victorian stroll of Saratoga. You'll walk through Congress Park, taste the waters, and hear the stories of the area's most colorful characters. Have some fun at the Saratoga Racetrack this afternoon, home to several of the most important races in North America, including the Travers Stakes, the oldest major thoroughbred horse race in the U.S. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the scenery as you explore some of the most noted drives in New York, including the Prospect Mountain Scenic Highway. Following that is a historic guided tour of Queensbury and Glen Falls. You'll also visit the Hyde Collection, a historic house and museum complex featuring a distinguished collection of art. On your sunset sightseeing dinner cruise, you'll be on Lake George, and your cruise will take you past the stately Sagamore Hotel, Dome Island, Speckerheck Island, and more. Enjoy a guided Albany City tour before we board your plane for your flight home. So join us for our New York featuring the Finger Lakes, Lake George, and Adirondack Mountain tours, August 18th through 24th. This is an active lifestyle, specifically designed for the active traveler.